There we go, right, Ron. Hello there, everybody. Happy Ēostre, Ostara, Easter, Alban Ilia, however you celebrate this time or whatever culture you are. I am Eoman Rich Nicholson, having a few beers for Ēostre, the blue moon, the blue full moon, and the rebirth of Iclingas Hearth in Frynsida of the Frynsida, that is our layout. What's so hell? So, you've seen our home block, you've seen part of our block at Iclingas Hearth today. Here we have...
Hello all, I hear so hail.
East Nicholson, or Little Bayonne. How is it pronounced in Icelandic?
Frynsida?
Friffa.
Yeah.
Friffa.
Yeah,
So
that's it, yeah.
I wonder if I can get that on both of us.
If I move in, that is.
Yeah.
Go on, keep on you, brother.
There we go.
There we are. Now, before any of you get confused, we may somewhat look alike, but I've got less of a tosh than my brother has, but he is the older one.
I am the older one.
The elder brother each.
Yes, so
You understand that left
today
Yeah, there we go.
I've come to do a talk
There we go.
for you guys on what actually is Ēostre or Ostara, the old heathen traditions.
There we go.
So I come on to do these little talk videos every now and then.
And it's very
And,
rare I pop on.
Yeah, and I want to do these more frequent, probably after blocks, to explain a bit more to those who are new or just generally interested and don't know what I'm going on about from my readings. So we'll start with the Venerable Bede. The Venerable Bede was an Anglo-Saxon, probably around, well, after the time of conversion. He wrote down so many sources of our heathen ways that survived. I'm just gonna, that's better, okay. So he wrote down certain things. He wrote about one of them being Lady Ostara, but he didn't write as much on it as he did other festivals and other deities. There's not much about Ēostre, but we do know that she is the dawn goddess. She is the start of summer. So who is she? Well, some say she's the goddess of dawn, others would say spring, although we believe in summer and winter. Some believe spring and will say spring, and that's fine. What else? She's the dawn goddess. She's a fertility goddess, and she also works with goddess Hrefa. So who is Hrefa? Hrefa is also, the end of winter goddess. Also is the same deity as Skadi. So when winter crossover into summer deity. She is a goddess of wind. So you get quite a lot of wind in March as well. And they connect, and then the very start of summer then carries over with the Ēostre and the fertility elements. So she is our goddess of dawn, fertility and the start of summer. There's also a short story, because you get a lot of traditions where the bunnies and hares and eggs, where do all these things come from? The modern culture, not even Christianity explains why we call them the dark spears. Well, they don't actually really say how it's linked in with the bunny, the eggs, what else, the chocolate. And the truth is, there's no explanation for it. There's never one written down because there isn't one. It's heathen origin. It's Germanic, Anglo-Saxon and Scandinavian origin. And the reason for this is the goddess Ēostre created the first hare. Now, my one friend seems to believe it's a hawk, the bird that was transformed as a hawk. Many just say a bird, it could be would be however you see it. I think it's one of them. But some form of a bird was turned into a hare because its wings was frozen from winter. Probably was a hawk, because a hawk is obviously quite a big bird. The body of the hawk, I guess you could say a hawk is probably the same size as a hare's body. The hare is a much ancient, it's what was before the domesticated rabbits.
A variant.
It was the variant, it was the more ancient variant, thank you, brother.
There you go, bruv.
And this hawk or bird or whatever it was had frozen wings. So Ēostre, the story is Ēostre actually got hold of the bird and healed the animal instead of having to sacrifice or kill it. She saved it by removing the wings without harming the being, and in that managed to transform this bird into a new being known as the hare, the very first hare. And Ēostre said she got the hare to multiply, to reproduce into more hares, and to do this she sent the hare with multicoloured eggs to hatch more hares, starting the species of the hare, which later become domesticated into rabbits. The hare of Ēostre, that's where it comes from. That's where the origin of the chocolate egg comes from, the idea of the egg, the rabbit, the hare. It's even tradition, and if you want to know something else, there's recent research that the hot cross bun, if you look at the cross is very centred. Now, if you look at Jesus's cross, the top part of the wood, what his arms dangled from, it's a bit higher. It's over the halfway point of the part that his body and legs dangled off, and so his arms could get on it. It was higher up. If you look at a hot cross bun, it's
more centred.
The cross is more centred, and the reason this is because they actually believe now that the hot cross bun represented the 4 moon phases. The 4 moon phases. There's 4 phases of the moon, and we offered these today, as we do believe I call them solar buns. I call them moon or solar buns, because to me they represent the 4 moon phases. And we offered these to the flame, as well as a chocolate egg, and a horseman Ian offered a boiled egg, which of course popped during blot with no harm done. We did make offerings to sow in the ground. A dog walker and his dog was let off the leash, and the dog ate all the offerings. So it was only actually the half fire that actually received the offerings, but that's no harm. The gods, I'm sure, got them nevertheless, and maybe the gods wanted the dog to get the ground offerings. We're not sure, but who knows? But that's pretty much Ēostre in a nutshell. This blot, Ēostre blot, was very important to us today. Iclingas Hearth has been reborn under our new layout name, Frynsida. When it was obviously how do I say it? When we was Anglican Frynsida, Iclingas Hearth was under a blue moon at Hallows Eve. When it was first born, it is now reborn under Frynsida and is under a blue moon of Ēostre. So once again, this moon tonight is a blue moon. It's a sacred moon, and for this, the rebirth of Iclingas Hearth at Ēostre is also a blessing from Lord Mona, the Lord of the Moon, our moon god Mona, known in Norse as Mani. And for this, as well as our half upholder deity, being also known as patron deity, modernly said, we say uphold the deity because it's, you know, I'd say more upholder than patrons. Patron seems a lot more of a Roman thing to say. So uphold the deity of Iclingas Hearth. We've now gone, of course, we've got 2 upholder deities for Iclingas Hearth now. So we have 2 as always, and because of this blessing of another blue moon on Ēostre, the rebirth of Iclingas Hearth, we've also got Mana or Mani. My patron deity, as some of you may have guessed by now in looking at this pendant I've got on here as well. I'll show you guys that at Ēostre. My personal upholder patron deity is obviously Ingwi, or Frey, however you name him. The brother of Freyr and the son of Hadingus, modernly known as Njord. That's it, brother, thank you. Hadingus, modernly known as Njord, and in Norse also known as Njorder. So, yeah. So that's a bit on Ēostre today. I want to come on and explain these videos a bit more as we come on. What did Chris mention in the reading? It was mainly about how we were reborn at Ēostre, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What I've discovered. Did he mention anything else?
I can't remember. It was a little bit ago.
Oh no. But yeah, we also had one of my close friends' sisters. One of my close friend's sister join us in Frith today. So holding Frith means you are an outsider. It means you are someone outside of the Hearth and Laird that respects the path enough to come and worship Hold Frith with us. So our friend Amy held Frith with us today. She's a friend at football. She's the sister of one of my best friends who I work with as well as play football with. She's football, she's a friend, football friend, and sister to one of my closest friends, and she comes to hold Frith with us today. So you know, it's always good to have people hold Frith and increase our community in Frynsida and Iclingas Hearth. It was a blessed lot today. We performed the song, as you can see on my page. We performed today in modern English the song Ēostre by Heidvolk. I played the Jew's harp and Reese sung the
sang the song in English.
Yeah, he did. Little Bayon or Litha performed this song in modern English. And I also did a reading what I performed at home block, because the readings for Ēostre block are not that long, yet it is a major festival. But we all agreed at block today that the readings on it are so short, but yet the festival is so big. You know, to Druids it's old time up until Beltane, what they believe is the 1st of May. For us it is Ingwiblot. The time of Frulka, I think it's Frulkamonoff it's pronounced. Or was it Haligmonoff? It's one of them. The time of May they call it Beltane. For them it's also Alban Ilia. Some modern Druids and Wiccans also know it as Ēostre. Depending on how their druidic path works. And for modern people it is just Easter, under what of course the new religion, or just the excuse to get absolutely hammered and have chocolate. So but that modern version of it is tomorrow. I'm going to be in work getting absolutely hammered in service, no doubt, but it's got to be done. Yeah, there's a little talk and a little bit today on Ēostre, and I'll be doing more of these videos throughout the thing, and they'll just come on in little talk shows. So I hope that uncovers it a bit more for you, so you get a better understanding and with the more with other deities that have stories behind them. I will explain the blots and go into some of their stories as well, because it's good to know and just give you guys an idea on these lords and ladies that we worship. Or we'll do videos, talks on our forebears as well, and just make good use of the page really. And these will be going on my Facebook page as well. And yeah, I thought we'll give you guys an idea of what we're doing, what it's about, and just a general overview so you guys can understand it better. However, we are not an online layout at Frynsida, Iclingas Hearth. We would prefer you guys to come and join us and thrift live in our grove. So when you guys see, or you can message me in the comments here on YouTube or on our communities on Facebook. If you wish to join us, inbox Chris Anglican on Facebook. Myself, Eorman Rich, I'm known as Eorman Rich Casterton on Facebook. Reese Casterton is on Facebook, or Ian James. Contact one of us and we can give you more details to where the grove is. It is in Mercia in England, so it would help if you live in Angleland. And yeah, feel free to come and join us to hold Frith and Black. I understand there are people on my community in the Arisate layout of Germanic and Norse that obviously overseas and obviously can't do that, so that's why I do this for you guys as well, these talks, these videos online for Black. But if you're in Angleland and have access to Mercia, please reach out, come and join us. We look forward to seeing you and holding Frith with you. And that's all for today. So I'm Eorman Rich Casterton. My family name comes from a place in eastern Mercia known as Rutland, but I was born and bred here in Radic, now modernly known as Redditch in West Mercia, and also descend to the tribe, the Layard of the Arisate. And here is... Brother, do you want to say you are?
And I, because my first name meaning, well, obviously being known as Reese, but because it's spelt in the old Welsh or Wales spelling, which means little warrior, so that's why if I go by an old English name, it is Little Bayon, meaning little warrior, little bear, if how you would think at the end of the day.
Thanks, mate. Okay, so I'm Eorman Rich Nicholson, or Eorman Rich Casterton. There's a little video on Ēostre and where we are with Iclingas Hearth and Frynsida. So thank you guys, and look forward to seeing you soon or hearing from you. And I'll say thank you. See you later.